Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, if you can't tell by my sort of everything, I play a lot of video games, and I played them pretty much my whole life, probably since I was maybe 5 or 6. The Sega that we got, it was actually my dad's. He had a controller we couldn't use, but as long as I've been playing video games, graphics have not really been a big, like, deciding factor for me. I mean, it looked good, but it's not that big of a deal breaker for me. I remember when I was, from that Sega era of games, I think the first time graphics really stood out to me was probably Sonic 3. Just the little things that they did in that, like the little background animations and like your sprite, if you stood still for long enough, like he would do this little like foot tapping thing, but just little details that were in these games that made them stand out. And certainly limited by the times of what they were capable of, showing on screen. Aside from games that did like the live action cutscenes and stuff like that, you could not get a photorealistic model for your games. It's just, you're just limited by the times. But now, as we've progressed with technologies, we can get to that point now. We can make photorealistic character models. I'm not really a big fan of it, if I'm honest with you. And it's just, I prefer a unique art design over photorealism. If I wanted to see something that was photorealistic, I would just watch a movie or a TV show. But I can appreciate photorealistic graphics for what they are. I mean, it's a feat of technology and design to even be able to do something like that. However, there is a little bit of a problem when it comes to photorealistic graphics. And that problem comes into the fact that most people, I'm not sure if it's a lack of understanding or maybe they're just expecting something different because it is a video game, but some people have been getting really upset over the character model design for Aloy in the Horizon Forbidden West. She's a cave person, and she's got a little bit of hair on her face. Now, I think that's really weird for someone to get upset with because having hair on your face is frankly normal. That's just kind of something that happens to people. That's not, you know, if you actually talk to some of the women in your life, maybe shoot a little older. I mean, there's even younger women who this happens to, but yeah, you grow facial hair. Usually not as thick as males' facial hair, but it happens. You know, you will get instances where you get women who can grow very thick beards. But that's just kind of the nature of the human body. You know, it's just something that happens. For a character like Aloy, and before I go any farther, I haven't played the game yet, but from what I've gathered about that game series, she is a cave person. She hunts for a living, from what I've gathered. She, goes out into the wilds and collects, however you want to call it. But they live in a type of society, like, why would she be concerned about how she looks? Like, if you really think about it, what would she gain from putting makeup on? What would she gain from shaving her face? Nothing. In that type of world that she lives in, you would never, I couldn't think of a reason to do that. What's really interesting about it, though, is, like I was saying, women having hair on their face is normal. Most women will have to shave their face. So it seems like the argument isn't so much that it doesn't look real, but it's just that she has hair on her face in the first place. To me, that seems like, as bad as this sounds, but like y'all don't really know how women work, frankly, or how the human body functions. When it comes to video game design, frankly, you could look at art design throughout all of history. Like, look at these paintings of, like medieval times, like the royals and stuff like that. They have flawless skin. Do you really expect me to believe that people who, bathed twice a year in the river, like they had flawless skin? They didn't, but you commission someone to paint you, and they're going to paint you looking good. If you look at older video game graphics, you couldn't get it looking exactly like a person. So you're limited with what you have. You make just people look good as you can make them. Now that we can make people in video games look like people, it seems like there's a pushback on that. You don't want photorealistic graphics. What you want is, you just want it to look good to you. Photorealistic, frankly, doesn't look good. It just looks real. If you want this perfection in all your character models and something like that, I actually have a solution for you. Get a PC. Mod your games. That's it. That's all. And it's an easy solution too. The good thing about photorealistic graphics is the mod community for them can slap stuff on it and you can barely tell a difference because it just seams up so well. So if you really have a problem with a cave woman not keeping her face bare and not wearing eyeliner or blush or whatever, just get a PC and mod the game and you'll feel better. But I'm sure there will be people who are upset at saying that, you shouldn't be this concerned about how people look in games. But we'll see what happens. Y'all have a good day.